sand where everyone must go. Seek the cradle of the mountains where winds of wisdom blow. Cast a starward, I observe the heavens as they die.
find the strength. No, you will find the strength. That's what it is. You will find the strength. Ooh, look at this.
But John used to laugh and say,
Yeah, you will find the string. String, yeah, like you're pulling
like
when
you're
you see the
pulling
light.
String.
Yeah. Anyway, look who's here tonight.
Joe X Dubious.
That's right. The dubious duberosity. Check out the style.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's in the beginning of it. Really. That's we're going to talk about that and more exciting things. What's that?
He's a styling dude.
He always was, obviously. So, we got to find out. Oh, hey! We got to find out where that came from. The styling part.
Oh.
Styling of the lambs. No. Speaking of styling of the lambs, we watched Halloween Ends last night.
Yeah. Free on Peacock.
Yeah, does it ever really end? Halloween, does it ever really end? I don't know.
Well, we can't tell them what happened.
Because why? Because we don't remember?
We remember.
Because we fell asleep?
Have not seen it.
No, we didn't fall asleep. No, of course not. You don't want to ruin that.
No, it was good. I liked it.
It was good. I think, yeah.
It was not as scary
I mean,
as what we watched
here's the thing about old scary movies.
That wasn't an old scary movie.
Well, no, I'm gonna that when you first saw Halloween, there wasn't a lot of stuff out there like that. So that's an old scary movie, and it scared the crap out of you because it's psychological. It's all kinds of stuff, and it's a way of, I guess, directing.
Ooh! Gail said that sucked. It was so disappointing. She did not like it.
This was disappointing. Robert.
Robert.
Tell them about your buddy Robert.
Yeah, you want to see something scary? Go and watch.
Go and watch
the world's most haunted doll. And
Robert.
We went to the museum where he was when we were in Key West. We didn't go in.
And don't goof on it.
No.
Don't goof on it.
You have to watch the show.
Yeah, you gotta watch the show.
Writing him letters apologizing to him because they got bad luck after they.
Robin.
If you want to take
Robert,
his
he's gonna get me next now.
You have to ask permission.
What the hell is going on over there? Okay. Listen, if you want to go to Hawaii and bring back a piece of lava, that's fine with us.
Why? What does that mean?
Well, the idiot is out there in a lava field taking pictures, right? Mm-hmm. And I thought, wow, how cool is this? I'm going to bring a piece back for Laurie and Cody. Because remember I did the graffiti with the coral. You do on the main road coming into the Big Island. It's like a lava field, and people take coral, white coral, and write, whatever group they call it, graffiti. Obviously, they write their names, and it's all over the place. So, I had done that already, and I said, I should bring Laurie back a piece of lava. And I don't remember who said I was riding around in a golf cart. We were about to do the show. But I was riding, we had
you had the lava with you?
I had the lava in my pocket, yeah. And I don't know who said, don't bring any lava back, because it's real bad luck, and you'll have bad luck until you return it. Well,
you would have returned it right then and there.
I would have, I did return it right then and there, but I mean, I would have mailed it to Chris or something like that, but still.
Chris.
You have to, that's the thing about traveling. You have to know the ways of the folks.
That's true. So yeah, if you go see Robert.
Yeah, if you go see Robert, be nice. They'll tell you what the rules are. And the truth is, if you don't believe in that kind of thing. Yeah, I am frozen on Restream. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, frozen.
Oh, no. I wonder why. There's all kinds of stuff open. Is anybody hearing anything?
Yeah, you're frozen in a different position.
This is crazy.
Okay, so You were going to tell the people what the record company said.
Oh, yeah, because I did ask about, well, I don't even know if they can hear me. Somebody type some hearts or thumbs up or something if you're getting me, please. It looks like you are, but I don't know. This Restream thing is a pain in the ass. Oh, now it's moving on Restream.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, here comes thumbs up. Yeah, okay. They're laughing. I know they're there if they're laughing. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I spoke to the label, and they said that you'll be receiving your CDs this week. So I hope that means today or tomorrow. But it could mean Thursday or Friday.
Well, Gail said she promoted it last night.
Yeah, so what's that? Gail, did you get yours?
Yeah. I don't know, Kitty hears you and sees you. Anton hears you and sees you perfectly in New Jersey.
Oh, well, there you go, man.
Brenda sees you.
Happy
Laura
birthday
says,
to your mom, by the way. You know, I saw it. I saw it.
Anton?
Yeah.
No, that was Michael.
It was whose?
Michael Newton.
Oh, Michael Newton. Right. Well, happy birthday to Anton's mom, too. I don't know. Why did I think it was Anton?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You said to me, Michael. Maybe it was Anton.
Well, it could have been anything. What else did I say to you today about the car? The R8 and the GTR.
Right. That it was hyper-shocked, painted.
Yeah,
Michael, he says, I am here. Yay!
Okay.
He's not on YouTube tonight.
There we go. Good. Yeah, and I'm not sure. Oh, see, now I'm frozen on...
Restream?
But we've had I think it's the net, Bunny. I think it's... We've had real bad internet in and out, this and that. And...
Oh, Gail didn't get the CD yet. She played your show, and the Bogeyman was playing, and she told people it's the first song on John's new album.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's, yeah, it is. Well, I've got radioactive hair.
Hey.
Yes, thank you.
And I'm glad, Michael, I'm glad you came into Facebook,
yes.
not YouTube.
I am glad as well. I am
nobody
glad.
was hearing you last night.
Yeah, and you know, it's... Oh, look at that frozen face.
Oh, Michael was stuck in Angus's feed for the past 2 days, so he went in YouTube last night. Don't go into Angus's
Don't go in
feed.
there. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
I went in there one night thinking it was a show.
You couldn't get out?
No, I got out when nobody was writing anything. I'm like, what is this?
And I got out.
I got out.
Well, let's see. I just want to try something here for a second. Oh, no. Wait. Wait
It's not
for
frozen
it.
anymore over here.
That's good. Let's see. Oh, okay. Wait. Oh, okay. Anyway, Joe X Doobie tonight.
Yes.
That's going to be a lot of fun. The Doob is always fun.
He is.
And, you know, we're going to talk career stuff, drum stuff. He's a drummer. And, who's that knocking at my door?
Joe X Doobie.
Who's that? No, it's not. Where is he? Joe, where are you?
I don't know. Angus
Joe X.
still has COVID.
Yeah.
Tested himself again today and still has it.
So don't go near him.
No. And he took his kid out trick-or-treating.
What the hell is going on tonight with all this craziness? I'm telling you, it's got to be the internet.
Yeah. We had to, like, crash our what?
Thanksgiving
our
plans? I don't
Transformer.
Crash our what?
I don't know. Sue says there's a new Audi concept car in the new Elle magazine.
That's cool. It's probably an EV, but we had to crash what?
Whatever, the router. We had to crash the internet router today to even get on to the internet.
We had to crash it.
Well, we had to unplug it and plug it back in.
Cold boot it, maybe? Boot it?
Mhm. Yeah.
So, and maybe Doobie's having a problem getting on. Maybe
she
our
said-
internet. Oh wait, it says 2 participants. There he is. Da 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 da. Doobie. Yes, it is. It's Doobie.
Oh, and everybody, the Grump that was on the Halloween show Friday night was not Vader.
No,
It
it wasn't.
was Tom Heinisch.
It was Tom Heinisch. Here he comes. There he
Oh,
is. Let me turn you up. Always styling. Yes, your doobiness. There we go. Okay. Speak to me.
Ring a ding ding, yo, Steve Reno.
Oh, ba ba baloo ba blah bam boom.
Ring a ding ding, Steve Reno.
Right. How we doing, bro?
Mr. Doobie's doing well. Thanks for inquiring upon his health.
Yes,
Right.
yes. Is we're in the third person tonight?
Well, yes.
We may be.
That's fine. That's fine. We, you know, there's no discrimination here, pal.
Depends
You
on what
never
drug
know.
he's doing.
The only thing you know is you don't know, you know?
That's right. Always, you know, that's always a home run.
So how you been?
I've been good, man. I've been very lucky with, you know, we survived that crazy storm without, you know, just trees and cosmetic stuff. You know,
Jeez, that was awful.
I mean, people. We're still seeing it. It's been over a month, and it's still neighborhoods that are like 4 or 5 miles from here are just wiped, just gone. It's like,
A department store 2
Yeah.
blocks from here, we passed it. It was like closed.
Yeah,
and they're
where was that?
rebuilding it. Bells.
oh right, yeah, Bells across across the main highway from us. It's crazy. We went to see our old house where we used to live when we first moved down here, and everything, including all the drywall, was piled. You know, all the furniture and stuff from inside was piled up out on the street. Right to the
Yep.
water.
Yep.
We were reminded of this is, we are now 3 days past the 10th anniversary of Sandy.
Oh,
Oh.
And they're still saying the same situation as you described 10 years later. So
well,
Yeah.
I remember
3
that.
weeks is nothing.
I remember that because we were playing up there. We had, I was playing with Robin Zander, and we were playing. We had some Jersey dates, and we had one date that fell out at the what was it? The what theater?
I don't remember.
Oh, jazz horn player theater.
Yeah.
Louis Armstrong Theater. No.
No, not Louis Armstrong. It's in New Jersey.
Count Basie?
Yes,
Count Ba-
Count Basie. Woo!
Boom.
That guy plays piano.
Yeah, he was a piano player. I'm listen, dude, but you know what? I'm in the long orbit, so that's what's happening. You know, yes. Count
I'm
Basie.
playing there in December 17th.
Oh,
Really?
I'm playing at Count Basie with
That's cool.
with the 2 other surviving members of Looking Glass.
As Looking Glass?
Oh.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
playing 2 songs.
Hey, man, you know, that's okay.
It's a gig. It's a gig.
You're alive, right?
Oh, that's amazing, bro. That's,
To get back to actually playing, I never thought I'd get there. I really didn't.
you know, I had a similar experience. I was a lot younger than we are now, but 40 years ago, was it? 30 some odd years ago. I got hit, I got in a really nasty car accident. Somebody threw
39 years ago.
39 years ago. Someone threw a 20-pound metal plate off a bridge, came through the windshield, and changed my day. And I didn't know whether I would ever play. I didn't even know if I would ever even get up again. It was
Were you on the LIE?
No, not the LIE.
no, on the Bronx River Parkway on my
geez.
way to Lemore's in Queens.
Lemore's. Yeah. Now you're talking.
Yeah, you know, some people will do anything to get out of a gig.
Lemore's.
Yeah, that was a miserable experience, I'll tell you that. But
I can only guess. Jesus, Christmas.
and the thing about it is, you know, you hear these things, right? And you hear stuff about the near death experience or the afterlife experience or all that. And the thing about it is, I had an experience. Have you ever been experienced? Not necessarily.
Beautiful, baby. Beautiful.
I had an experience. I mean, I don't remember anything. And funny, you know, I mean, this will certainly resonate with you. I'm getting ready to smoke a joint with the girl next to me. my guitar player's at the time fiance. And I said to her, classic line, I said, "This stuff's going to blow your face off." That's the last thing I remember.
Oops.
Yeah.
You never see that one coming.
Man, I'm telling you. And it's just like cut the tape and you're gone. And so now I'm like equalizing out in this darkness.
Whoa.
And I don't see the light or anything like that, but there's like, I can tell it's a vast space because of the ambience, you know, when you're in a giant space, even in the dark, and it seems like it just goes on in all directions forever, but it had a low ceiling. I mean, what sense that makes, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get it. No, I get
And
it.
I'm seeing like colors without light, and it's very hard to explain it, but it was just blissful. I mean, just like, oh man. And you've been there too, right? But I mean, this is the ultimate. And all of a sudden, like a vacuum cleaner, zoom, I get sucked back into, and I remember saying, no, 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 I don't want no. And
How long were you floating? How long was the experience for?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. I don't think it was very long. I think it was just maybe a couple of minutes or maybe 5 minutes or.
Were you in the hospital or were you in the ambulance? Or?
No, I was still in the car.
Yeah.
I was still in the car.
All right.
And the first thing I see is a completely shattered window, windshield with looks like a hot butter knife cut through it on an angle, right?
Oh boy.
And I looked next to me, and so it couldn't have been very long because the girl next to me it hit her in the face.
Blew her face off.
It blew her face off. I mean, but literally, it did. It took out all her teeth and broke her jaw and cut her like up to her ear. And her scar matches my scar. She was sitting next to me, so it hit her and then it hit me.
Right, he was not driving.
I was not driving nowhere. So it couldn't have been that long because she was still sitting up and bleeding and unconscious. And I looked at her and I got out of the car and I'm sitting on the guardrail, but I had somehow the presence of mind to hide my pot behind the guardrail.
Certain automatic reactions kick in. They kick in right away. Hide the pot first and then deal with reality.
So I'm sitting on
we know better.
I'm sitting on the guardrail when the ambulance pulls up. And they're tending to Sharon, and another ambulance pulls up, and the people come over to me and they say, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then they said,
right.
What's that? And I look down, and I'm wearing a gray sweatshirt, and I see little blood starting to soak through it. And I said, "I don't know." And I put my fingers like 2 inches into my chest and went, "Oops." So now it's gurney, cut the shirt off, the whole thing. And I'm saying, I got to go to work, man. I got to shovel. No.
Gotta go more.
Tonight.
I said, I'll come back. I swear I'll come now. They said, no, you won't. I said, no, I will. They said, no, you'll be dead in 15 minutes or whatever it was. So,
No Lamars for
all
you.
right, let's go for the ride.
No Lamars for you.
No,
Man, no. I mean, that was...
Maybe Speaks, but no Lamars for you.
Right. No remorse for me. That's the truth. Oh man,
It's funny the things you remember about a situation like that because it's a near-death experience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, on every level. I mean, the detective said to me that we were going probably 70, and this 20, whatever it was, 21, 22-pound metal plate that they recovered. Because Mark, I remember, I'm sitting on the guardrail, and Mark brings this thing over, and he goes, "Look at this," and clunks it down at my feet. And he thinks that something fell off the bridge, right? Yeah. And I'm saying, no, that's not part of the bridge, man. And so we picked it up and put it back in the car because it was all evident, all instinct.
Yeah.
Something that held the railroad ties together.
Yeah,
Crap.
Yeah, when you got the rail that goes on the
splice
right,
plate.
then you have the wooden thing, the tie,
It's a
and
splice
underneath that there's this big metal plate that
Yep.
And it was like an axe head. And
Did they ever get the people who did it?
Yes, they did.
Ah, right on.
This is the very weirdest part of it. The people that saw them do it didn't know that Mark and I were the two people that were in the car. They just saw these kids dragging stuff from the railroad yard and up on the bridge, going, go ahead, do it now, do it now. All right, and so they called the police, and it turned out that they were fans of our band.
Yeah.
Thanks for nothing.
Oh,
No, not the kids that did it.
no, not the
Oh.
no, the people.
Thanks for all your help.
No, there was a couple sitting on the
Hey,
park
thanks for
bench
coming down. Yeah.
And so,
Yeah, they want to get an early interview or something, you know.
It was the people, there was the witnesses, the people that called the police on the kids. It was a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old.
Knuckleheads. By
Yeah.
definition, knuckleheads.
Without question. And so it was
So that was you and Mark hit.
yeah, me
Yeah.
and Mark Kidd and his soon-to-be wife, and just wow, man. I mean, it was nuts. It was. But, and again, that's the only time that I ever wondered, am I going to be able to play again? And
Well, we try to miss as few gigs as possible. I missed one. We were Looking Glass was living out in Western Jersey on a farm, and my friend Jeff Sudson, who had just finished repainting his Sportster, drove up to the farm and was showing it off. It was a 900cc 67 Sportster, very cool bike. And I said, "Hey, let me take it for a spin." I hopped on it before we're heading up to Boston to go play. And this is before, we were signed, before, we're just some band, right? And so I jump on the bike and I go up the country road that we were living on. We were living in a 200-year-old stone farmhouse on a country way deep in the woods. And I turned around and I was wearing like a corduroy jacket, no helmet, no nothing, I just hopped on the bike, turned around, came roaring down the past where everybody was standing with the truck loaded, ready to just get off and just go to Boston. When flying past him, I was trying to impress all my friends, went whipping past him. Somehow I hit the brakes, the rear end skidded out, went off to the side of the road, the front end went into a culvert, a pipe on the drainage pipe in a ditch on the side. Me and the bike flipped over 3 times, and it landed on top of me, and we went bouncing down the road, with me underneath the bike, accordingly. So I landed like that. The girl across the street saw all this. She got her parents' John Deere tractor and hooked the chain up to it and dragged the bike off of me. Ambulance came, took me down to the regional medical center, and it looked like somebody had taken a grapefruit spoon up my spine, taken out a chunk of flesh at each vertebrae, and my left shin was opened up to the bone from my knee to my ankle. Didn't make the gig.
No, I didn't make mine either, but that was the only one I ever missed.
Oh yeah, me too. I was like, until I got sick, that was about the only time I think I ever missed one.
Yeah, you get one. I mean, you got to get one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would have rather not gotten mine, and I'm sure.
No, clearly not. That was I was, kind of like an amateur Evel Knievel on that one, and that was not what I was going for.
And I can picture it. Of course, we had we did the horse farm in the woods kind of thing. 77 acres and the whole thing. And it was, there was some real stupid shit going on there.
Sure.
It was
of course. That's why you move out there, so you can do dumb stuff.
Yep, really dumb stuff. I mean, there was a
guy.
cabin on the property that we rehearsed in, and it was. We
had a 200-year-old stone farmhouse on 86 acres in Hunterdon County that belonged to Mary Chapin Carpenter's Aunt Mary. And she was pretty cool because we could pay the rent most of the months. She understood, artistic living. So if we paid 2 out of 3 months, she was pretty happy. But it was a pretty cool place. 200-year-old stone farmhouse, walls 2 feet thick. Ooh. And we rehearsed there. We lived there. We did demos there. And that was really where we finally went up after living in New Brunswick the whole time. We went up there to go, put it together. And we did, that's where we did our first demo tapes that we started shopping around.
Wow, and it worked. I mean, that's the
Oh.
best part of it. That's something. That's cool.
Somebody knew somebody and you got a guy and you showed it to him and then he did this and that guy did that, but it's all cumulative and it's dumb luck.
Well,
Dumb
yeah,
fucking luck.
And so is the dumb luck of not getting the deal is just as prevalent. The guys
Oh.
that do everything that they possibly can do and they miss it by, 30 seconds. That's
So
that's its own kind of dumb luck.
So when Capitol had to be convinced after they turned the Beatles down the first time, now that they've got an album out on VJ, they had to be convinced yet again, where the head A&R guy said, "I'm quitting unless you sign these guys. They're that stupid," and we signed with them.
Bean counters, man. But
We
but
signed with
and the
Capitol.
cool thing about that is, we'll fast forward, but I want to ask you something about challenging gigs.
Yeah.
I did the deal with Deco Entertainment for this John Entwistle record, the
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
rarities,
Right.
and that's old school, man. I mean, they're doing it old school, modern old school, but old school. The guys that run the label are artistic people as opposed to being suits. And it's very early Apple or early Microsoft.
Yeah.
It's a great environment there. They
What,
work.
what year was that
What year was what?
that you did the deal?
This year.
This year.
This year.
Oh, just now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes. I just got my box. Just got my
Oh,
box.
show me the front. Don't show me the back.
I can.
It's a glare on it.
Yeah, it's backwards. You know what? I can show it to you if you really want to see it. I can show it to you. I
Okay,
can show it
Doobie.
to you. Doobie.
You show me yours, I'll show you mine.
Oh, here's. Well, it's okay. I
Well,
gotta get out of
Carol
the
and
spaceship.
Frank say hi, Doobie.
Who?
Carol and Frank.
Carol.
Oh, cool. Hey, you guys. How come you didn't come to the gig last week?
How come you guys didn't come to the gig last week? And Scott Du Bois says hi to you two fellow drummers.
Oh, hello, fellow drummer. Yes. So this is the basic motif of the album.
Very nice.
Spooky stuff,
Very nice.
cigarettes, and Remy Martin, and
The huge. The
yeah, the
huge.
huge. Exactly right.
The huge.
Machine gunned gold record. It's stuff.
Okay, Carol and Frank were in Asheville last week.
Oh,
Okay.
All right, you're excused.
You
then.
make your choices. You make your choices. I'll talk to them about it later.
It's
offline.
all about the choices, dude. You know that.
It is,
It's
it
all
is.
about the choices. So let me ask you this: we were talking
Shoot.
about all the gigs that we didn't miss. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, you know where we're going.
Go ahead.
What is the? Give me some gigs that maybe you should have missed but you didn't. Give me the circumstances to those ones that you just. You know what? I gotta go. I can't.
Well,
not
I'll
go.
tell you one that we questioned our sanity after we did it. Okay. Here's one. Of course you say, well, of course you do it, but think of these circumstances. Okay. We're on tour with Aerosmith. It's Stars, right? And we just finished playing Buffalo. Where the Bills play, right? And the next gig is a couple of days later at the Kingdom in Seattle. So now we're on a bus, we just, we're a pretty small band here in Wilton. So after the gig, we all pile on the bus, the band and the crew, start driving west. It's one road. You just take I-90 for 3 days. It's not that tough. So we had a couple of guys with commercial licenses, or you just change drivers, stop for food and fuel, and you just keep going. And normally every day on the road, I would write down in my diary where I was and what we did. Well, here we never stopped rolling. So I would just go to sleep and look out the window when I woke up, and whatever sign it said, that's what I would write down for the day. Oh, Madison, Wisconsin. Okay, Madison. So a couple of days later, we wind up in Seattle. We're playing the Kingdom. It was Aerosmith, Ted Nugent, Derringer, and us. And I think Jeff Beck got on the bill too. So we got pushed down one slot, and the gig was supposed to start at 8 o'clock, but because they had yet added another act, we got to start at 7:30. And it's the middle of the summer. So the Northwest in the middle of the summer, 7:30 is like noon. And so it's like playing an outdoors gig at 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh.
There's bright lights, Kingdom's empty because everybody thinks the gig's starting at 8 and we're coming on at 7:30. We go out on stage. Stage lights are useless. Well, at that time on that tour, we only got to play the hot half hour anyway. We would come out, we'd play 6 songs, half hour. We had it down to the, within 10 or 15 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
Because that was the time. That was the spot we had. Otherwise, Aerosmith would pull the plug. They would just take your stuff and throw it in the garden. So we played our hot half hour starting at 7:30. And, they didn't want to go past midnight because it was a union hall. You have to pay the guys double. So we played from 7:30 to 8 o'clock, came out there. There might have been, who knows, 10,000 people out there. But in a place that holds 80,000, it looks like nothing. So we're out there. We played 30 minutes and we're done. And we're walking off. And now it's getting dark enough where the stage lights get some effect. And we're done. All of a sudden, the house lights go down. The stage lights come on. And out comes this guy on a unicycle juggling, while they're changing the amp line, right? And the juggler comes out, and I turned to Richie and I said, "We just drove 2,300 miles to open for a fucking juggler, right?" And I'm going, what's wrong with this picture,
Man.
2 days nonstop driving, living on shit, driving out there, nobody in the house, making a fool of yourself to open for the goddamn juggler.
Wow.
Oh man, you just
you didn't knock him over or anything like that. Drumstick in the spokes. No.
I was thinking about it, but then so then we were done, and we were done early enough to be able to enjoy all the fun activities that Seattle had to offer.
Well, yes.
It kind of made up for it. Then we went down to Anaheim and played Anaheim Stadium a couple of days later after that. It was pretty cool, too.
Same lineup?
Yeah.
No Jeff Beck?
Yeah.
Yes, Jeff Beck?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The first gig I ever did as a professional was supposed to be out at the Comac Arena.
I played Comac Arena.
You play that place? I played there a couple of times, but our first gig as Looking Glass after we finished our first album was we were both on Epic, and they said, "Oh, well, go out with him." Right? Looking Glass and Jeff Beck. That was the Rough and Ready band.
Oh, right.
Cozy Powell and
Hopkins
and Montana. So, very Max Middleton,
Oh, Max Middleton, not Nicky Hopkins, right.
Max Middleton, it was so the first gig was at Comac Arena, but it got canceled because Jeff Beck was a little under the weather, as they say, in rock and roll medical terms. He was a little under the weather, couldn't quite make the gig. So the next gig, so the first real gig after finishing the album and going on our first professional tour was the next night we opened at Carnegie Hall. No, I'd never played any place like that before. We were playing like bars on Route 1 and strip clubs, and what the fuck did I didn't know anything. So we get to Carnegie Hall, and I show up at the back door, stage door, and I start pulling my drums out of the van, like I always do, and my road manager says, "Put that down. You want to get us thrown out of here?" I go, "What are you talking about?" I said, "This is a union hall. You can't pick your stuff up. You have to tell a guy, pick that up and go put it over for me there, please." Oh, okay. So I got that. 8 o'clock rolls around. Ron Delsner comes out, and so during sound check, by the way, I went out and during the sound check, I stood at the front of the stage and I looked up and go, "Oh, this isn't going to be that bad." I just seen Paul Butterfield play there a few months before that. So I think, it's not that bad. This is like just a big, club or something. So 8 o'clock rolls around and Art Delsner, Howard Stein. Howard Stein.
Oh, Howard Stein.
It was a Howard Stein show. Howard Stein walks out to the front of the stage And he goes, well, ladies and gentlemen, Looking Glass. And all of a sudden the lights came up and I went, holy shit, right? All I did, I just put my head down and just plowed ahead. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't do anything. I just played the songs. Now I wish I could go back and play because I would listen and I know what I was not know it, but I'd be listening to. But and back then I didn't know what the hell was going on. So we played, it was good. People clapped, I guess, and stuff. My mom was sitting in the front row, the balcony, that's cool. And then we played only 35, 40 minutes because again, you didn't have much time. And so Jeff Beck, still a little under the weather, waited an hour to come out before he was able to come out and play his set. So, geez, you think we could have maybe played one more song, Mr. Beck? You think so? But no, that was not the way it went. So we went from there to Cleveland, and then we went to, Indianapolis. We wound up in Chicago and at the Erie Crown Theater after a couple of weeks. And that was my introduction to big time touring. I never played anything like that before.
Yeah. It's
never met the guy. Oh, forget about it.
No?
Never met. Oh no, never met the guy.
Wow.
Oh, are you kidding?
He's a loner.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's what John used
Are you
to
kidding? Tell me this. Let me ask you a question. English bands don't talk to American bands. True. or false? Hybrid bands do intermix, but pure English bands do not talk to American.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of racism there.
Huh.
Or,
Yeah.
as I like to call it, e-racism.
Racism.
But no, it's true, and you can't even think about joining an English band. So
How did you do it? So how did you get to cross the line?
Well, it was a mixed marriage.
Oh, I understand.
I crossed the line because I got to cross the line because when
You had a truck.
how to manufacture a way for us to play together.
Ah,
We actually played together. It was like, oh yeah. So that's really, I mean, we met at NAMM. I met him. I was introduced to him at NAMM. And I said, want to jam? And he said, anytime. So I just went out onto the NAMM floor and said, listen, John Entwistle and I, and the next thing you know, we were playing at the Vic Theater
Well, he
in
had
Chicago.
an American girlfriend.
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool gig.
Yeah.
Scott Du Bois wants to know if you ever met Cozy.
Who? Cozy Powell?
Wow.
Yeah, I did actually. And I sat behind his kit to get a feel for what he was playing. He had a big red Ludwig kit. It was pretty nice.
Oh, nice.
He plays these log sticks. They were huge. I didn't understand it at the time, but they were pretty cool. He was actually a nice guy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He was actually a nice guy.
I have two Jeff Beck stories, but I'll just tell you the one. I picked Entwistle and Bobby Pridden, who's sound man, up at the airport. And we go into New York and we all get in a cab. We're going to go around the city. And these guys are they're already 6 sheets to the wind from being on the plane, right? And they're talking like this, right?
Yeah.
And John he's got what I used to call baby head, right? This, like a baby. Baby head. Yeah, you got baby head. So he's got baby head, and Pridden is going to make friends with the cab driver, right?
Oh, okay. Good luck.
And he says, hello, my friend. My name's Bob. What's yours? And the guy goes, Jamil Bechnenifech, or whatever he said. And John all of a sudden opens his eyes and goes, Jeff Beck! Table for one for Jeff Beck! Fucking loner!
So we gather.
So I got to figure that I'll tell you one thing that I don't want to say I was disappointed about Jeff Beck, but I had always heard that he had these awesome, this hot rod shop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it come to find out he rebuilds, I think it's 34 Fords or something. I don't know.
32s, yeah, 32.
Is that what it is, 32s?
Yeah.
And man, I was I'm imagining all these dragsters and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, that's what he's into, that one car. And he just,
Okay,
yeah, that's fine.
pick one thing and do it good.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah.
Whatever.
We toured occasionally with an English band. We played with Mott the Hoople once in a while. We played with I don't know, Sweet and stuff. We played with Uriah Heep. You're back when we played with, they were Uriah Has Been. Weren't too good.
Okay.
But Looking Glass got its CBS gig by opening up for Edgar Winter and 10 Years After at Gaelic Park. Remember Gaelic Park?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, sure. So our manager got us on the bill, and they were both CBS bands. Both Edgar Winter was White Trash, and 10 Years After was on Columbia. Our manager got us on that bill, so all the CBS guys would see us play. And so I'm setting up in the afternoon, and 10 Years After road crew was all Welsh. They're all big, huge Welsh dudes.
Yep.
Right. So this Welsh guy, what did I know? I'm from Central Jersey, right? This Welsh guy, like 6'3", 240, comes up to me and he's setting up his, "Hey, man, give me a fucking hammer, will you?" And I went, "Oh, what?" He goes, "Hey, man, give me a fucking hammer, will you?" I go, "What the fuck did this guy say?" "Give me a fucking hammer!" Like that. He's nailing something in. I go, "Oh, sorry, here you go." So then all of a sudden he realizes that he needs something from a music store. And he asked me, "Oh, you got any place to buy some stuff around here?" I go, "Yeah, man, he's on 48th Street. He goes, "Where's that?" I said, "I'll take you." I drove the 10 Years After road guy from the Bronx down to 48th Street to go get wherever the fuck he needed. Waited outside right in front there, in front of Manny's. He got whatever he needed. We got back in my truck, and then we drove back to the Bronx for the gig. Thank you. Oh, no. No, thanks. No,
Wow.
nothing.
That's cold.
How do you say Vafungul in Welsh? Yeah.
Like this. Like,
Yeah. Listen, if in Wales they speak Welsh, in Belgium did they speak Belch?
after they drink enough beer, they do.
I suppose. Yeah, I guess.
I suppose. Man, it sounds.
So Clive Davis. So all those CBS guys thought we were pretty good, and they said, "Can you book a gig in Manhattan so Clive can see you?" So we did it. A couple of weeks later, we played down at the I guess it was the Cafe A Go-Go, or not the Bitter End, Cafe A Go-Go, or
Cafe Wa, Cafe A Go-Go.
So one on Bleak on the other side of the street from the Bitter End, whatever that one was.
I
think it was the Cafe A Go-Go.
Yeah, probably back then.
Yeah, and we opened. Looking Glass opened up for Buddy Guy and Junior Wells on a Tuesday. Wow. So Clive could come down and see us play. So he comes down to the early show. We play. You know, he likes it. He comes back after stage. I'm schwitzing on his Gucci's, and he says, "Why don't you come up to the building and we'll talk?" You know, there I am just dripping on his Gucci's, and he thought we were good enough to sign.
That's great.
Wow. Yeah, he's smooth, Clive.
Huh?
He's smooth.
He's smooth. He signed me twice, you know. He
really?
Signed me. I got signed by Clive twice. When Looking Glass was done, and we started a band called Fallen Angels, Clive had just been asked to leave CBS, and he went over to what was Bell Records and started up Arista. And our manager got and Clive signed us. We were the first bands to sign with Arista. So I actually got signed by Clive Davis 2 times.
That's awesome. That's a hell of a manager. How did you get hooked up with that guy? I know, me too. Mine wasn't that good though.
It was a different guy than the Looking Glass manager. It was a different guy. Oh,
well, I tell you what, you were in the flow with guys, you know, taking care of your business. And
that guy, after Fallen Angels had run its course, one album up in Toronto with Jack Richardson, who had done, you know, all the Guess Who records and Alice Cooper, and he trained Bob Ezra and trained Jack Douglas. When he was done with that, he went to work for O'Coin at Rocksteady, and he took us over there, and we started getting managed by O'Coin, and we went then to Capitol.
Oh man, Bill was managing you guys? I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah, we were the second band he had after he had Kiss, and then he said,
Right.
I want to start managing another band," and we were his second band.
Well,
Wow.
there's that.
Oh yeah,
So let me ask you something, because I mean, listen, the ride changes. It never really ends, but it does change. Um, at what point? I mean, you had at the end the transition from Looking Glass to the other band that, what was that? What brought that on? Was it different?
well,
you know?
after Looking Glass had done 2 albums and 2 tours, uh, the lead singer thought that it might be good for him to go out and go solo. Elliot Lurie, sounds like Elliot. But the band Looking Glass had 2 lead singers and 2 songwriters. Peter Swiebel, the bass player, wrote and sang half the stuff. And Peter's sound was nothing like Elliot's. So there was this dichotomy of everything. Peter's songs were different. His sound of his voice was different. We played different, but it was still the same 4 guys.
Right.
Same 4 guys playing all of Elliot's stuff, which sounded like Brandy and that stuff, and all of Peter's stuff, which sounded like the Stones and Poco, right? So the public got confused. Imagine that. So after 2 tours of that, 2 albums of that, Elliot said, "You know what? I think it might be a good idea for me to go out and make my own records." And we said, "Okay, good luck." And we had already hired another guitar player to play in Looking Glass, because Elliot was kind of into just kind of standing there singing, and we wanted to have a crunchy rock and roll guitar player for the stuff that Peter was writing. So we hired a guy out of the back of the Village Voice, and so we had a guitar player that played rock and roll. So when Elliot left, we put another ad in the Village Voice and got Michael Lee Smith, who became the singer of Looking Glass. And we just, because we had gigs booked, you don't ever turn down work. So we went out, continued to go out as Looking Glass for almost another year, playing gigs as that amalgam. But without Elliot in the band anymore, our sound turned much harder, because it was now Peter as the main songwriter, and it got much crunchier, much harder, much like that. So then after a while, we just said, you know what? I can't play Brandy one more fucking time. You can't pay me $1 million goddamn dollars to play this song. And then we changed our name to Fallen Angels, got a deal on Arista, did an album up in Toronto that was pretty good. Did a couple of singles came out on it. They did okay, but they didn't put the rest of the album on the shelf. And at that point, we started looking again to change around a little bit. Found O'Coin and dropped the keyboards. Got a second guitar player, Richie Rano, from another ad in the Village Voice, and then changed our name to Stars and went to Capitol.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that you were able to transition like that and keeping. So, do you think that the chemistry of the guys that kept making the trip together is why each thing kept working? Like, Fallen Angel, and then
I think myself and Peter Swiebel, the bass player, were the 2 people that were continuous from the beginning of Looking Glass to Peter lasted through the 3rd album of Stars when he left, and we got another bass player for the 4th album. But it was that continuum of, we really stayed pretty much as a unit. We just kept exploring these different musical styles, and we called ourselves something different, and we got on a different label.
See, that's I get that. I totally get that. And you have to play what you feel, and you have to go with.
Oh yeah.
You got to go with your gut. If Elliot hadn't left, maybe he would have always been wondering, what if I did this, or what if I did so.
Well, he went and did a solo album on CBS on Epic, but did okay. He did a cover version. He did Rich Girl that before Hall and Oates did it, who wrote it, but he did it first, and Tommy Mottola was not pleased with that, but he did it first, and his version's pretty good. It's a great sounding record. It sounds like 12 cuts of Brandy, or 10, or however many songs, but it sounds really good. I just listened to it a little while ago, and it sounds great. Sounds like Elliot singing. It sounds like all the records that he always wanted to play in his head, he got to do it. So, that's why you do it. We as a continuum, though, of musicians, we got to explore these different sounds, but and we can always, we could play this, we could play that, we could play that. You could play the same song 8 different ways, and if you keep doing it like that, that's your new sound.
Right. And and was it always a big drum set for you? Was it always a double kick?
Oh no, no, no. I got that when Stars, when we started really, amping it up and playing, much heavier, big gigs, much heavier is when I went to double bass, and I like playing double bass. I played double bass previously years ago, and it was not unusual for me, but it wasn't really appropriate, certainly in Looking Glass or Fallen Angels. But when it got to Stars, to say, okay, let's pick it up a little bit here.
That's cool. I mean, and so what do you do with the old drum sets?
Well, right now I'm trying to sell them. I'll never play that Big White Kid again. Anybody want to buy it, call me up.
I hear you. I'm in the same. I mean, I had all these monster kits. Some of them.
Oh.
3 bass drums and 1,000,000 tom-toms and all this.
Yeah.
It looked like I needed a display rack, and now it's like I'm looking at them and it's like, okay.
Look, if you can't do it on 4 pieces, you suck.
Well,
Come on.
I can do it. I can do it on 4 piece. I can do it on 1 piece.
Well, sure. You can play it on a box. You can play it on a spackle bucket, right?
Exactly.
Which I've done. I actually did a TV show playing a spackle bucket once, but you get the idea. You can reduce it to its elemental level, and if you're any good, you can make it sound right.
Well, I remember my earliest gigs playing in people's living room when I only had a hi-hat and a snare drum, and I had to make all the sounds. That was
sure.
The reason for the big kit happened because of the music that we were playing. It called for all those voices. It called for little bongo sounds. It called for big, and
Listen, if you got an amp line of 4 double stacks of Marshalls over here, and 6 SVT bottoms and another couple double stacks of Marshalls over here, you better show up with something. You're not going to play. You ain't playing Ringo's set anymore.
You're not playing a cocktail kit.
No. It's no stand-up cocktail set in green sparkle. It ain't happening.
Do you remember that thing? The stand-up cocktails with the weird bass drum pedal.
Yeah, what from the bottom up. I want one of those now. I want with the cowbell mounted off the rim. Yeah.
And the little cymbal.
Yep. Oh yeah. I want one.
You do want one?
I want one.
Because I have a couple.
We'll talk later. We'll talk.
No, but maybe I'll trade you for the Big White set because I think I still have room in one of these rooms for more.
Well, you got to get permission to get Big White.
Yeah, believe me, I have Big Blackie, I have the Enterprise, I have enough of them here. Yeah. Believe me. And the thing about those kits they're all carbon fiber, either carbon fiber or fiberglass, and so they, nothing happens to them. You could just
they're stable. They're stable.
Real stable and
cool.
And very loud.
Yeah, they're really loud too.
I gotta tell you, Doobie, we were looking at your pictures before you came on, and you were always very stylish.
Oh,
yes, always stylish.
Yeah.
What do you attribute that style to, Sir Doob?
It's business.
I hear you. I absolutely see. That's man.
You wear it well.
That is the best answer. It's absolutely business.
It's business. Nobody's paying you to look like a schlub.
I had a very funny idea for a Saturday Night Live skit. You get a grunge band, right? And they're wearing like all the horrible stuff. The sweaters and the sneakers with the hole in them. And then after the show's over, they go and they change into suits.
Yeah, well, it's personal style too. You want to look good to feel good, and nobody's paying you to look like a schlub.
No, they're not. And I think, I tell you what, I remember going to my earliest concerts at the County Center in White Plains. And right? And I couldn't wait to see. I mean, I'm 12 years old, 11, 12 years old. Couldn't wait to see what they were going to be wearing.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
what the Rascals were going to wear, or
Oh,
the Association, or the Birds, or We Five.
I snuck into the Erie Crown Theater when I was 13. I snuck in to the gig, and the Dave Clark Five were playing, and they were all standing there on stage with the black jackets, and they had those Dr. Kildare shirts and white pants, and they were playing Glad All Over or something, and I was just mesmerized. I was flattened by that whole thing. Red lights pulsating, and Dave Clark pounding it out.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that's
I saw
impressive.
them. I saw them with Paul Revere and the Raiders with Mark Lindsay when they were still wearing the uniform.
Yeah. That was a good band. That was a good
Wow.
band. I like
Yeah.
those guys.
That Vox keyboard
Continental.
that he was playing, and
Fox Continental.
oh yeah, it was
There's a question.
yeah.
A
Oh,
question.
there's a
from
question.
Newbie from
Oh.
the Scotty Boys. What drums did you play before the Tamas?
I had a combined set. I had a look when we signed when Looking Glass signed with CBS. We all went down to 48th Street and had Christmas in July.
Yeah.
I bought myself a rather large set of fives, chrome fives. I bought.
That's where we talked about that, didn't we?
Right.
Yeah, I had a 14. I had a 14, 15, 16, and 18 24-inch kick and a 6.5 Dynasonic.
Wow.
Big set. Big
I
set.
had. I can't do it to you. I have the only set of Fives concert toms that they ever made: 6, 8, 10, 12.
Oh, the whole rack?
Yeah, all the
Oh.
way to 16,
Jeez.
and two 24s, two 14 by 24s, and the 6.5 by 14 5 snare drum, which
And those
is
are for sale too, right?
yeah, those are for sale.
Yeah, those are for sale too.
Oh,
what,
yeah.
what color?
Oh, they're chrome.
Oh, I have chrome. You
Yeah,
want mine?
they're
I'll
chrome.
sell you mine.
I'll trade you. Yours probably take
You have a
up my
triple
room.
bass drum kit.
I had three kicks. I had insanity. I wonder if I don't think I can pull up the picture that fast. Do I? Can I? Can I?
I don't
Can I?
know.
No, I can't. No, that's all right. Forget it. But I'll show you pictures, man. It was. I loved that kit.
Oh yeah.
I went to see I forget who it was, and I got the idea because I used to have so many cymbal stands that
Yeah.
all the roadies used to have to do, and we finally got the boom stands. If you remember when the boom stands came
Well,
out,
I have a story about that. I'll tell you some other time.
and the roadies said this is crazy, and I hired a welder to weld me a rack that all the tops of the stands fit in, and it was
Oh.
like
Before
Cool.
they made
before
racks.
they ever made racks.
Drums are such a physical instrument that it's the mother of invention. And I think I had some influence in coming up with the modern boom stand, because I took a straight Ludwig stand, took the top tilter piece off, put the top of an Atlas boom mic stand, and in the tilter I put the top piece of the Ludwig stand back in there. And then, because you always say, if I could only get the cymbal to come up and in like this little, so I sort of made it up myself. And then the Tama guys were going, "What's that?" I go, "Well, I need the cymbal over here more." And I got pictures of me playing a Tama set with my, put together, jerry rigged boom stands before the boom stand came out.
It's funny that you say that. I think it was a Ludwig stand that the top, it was a very thin stand, one of the ones with the legs folded down like that.
Yeah.
And the third arm, or the third whatever it was solid.
Right.
And I got to bend it
Oh, I
and then move the tilter up. I was using it for splash cymbals back then, but I couldn't get them close enough because they were so small.
So that top rock, the third piece you could bend. And I took one of those things over on Big White and put a tilter, put a holder piece, and I had it over the top tom over here and bent that in as well. It was kind of flying in there.
It's
Oh, yeah.
it's
Oh, yeah.
amazing what we did, and it was to me, it was just so great because it was the hardware, especially the hardware in our day,
Yeah.
changed from, are you sure that's going to stand up to, oh man.
Beat the hell out of it and it falls over. So you're
Yeah.
playing. It's like who else has to build their instrument on a nightly basis?
Exactly. Right.
Guitar players don't have to build their guitar.
No, they don't.
Piano players don't build the piano to play it. But
And
we
what they
do.
don't realize is that when you have to play somebody else's kit, it's not like playing somebody else's guitar or piano, because on a piano the notes are all in the same place and the guitar as well. For us, if things are taken out of that physical equation, you're bleeding.
It's like playing.
Oh,
It's like playing something from Pluto. It just doesn't. It doesn't count.
doesn't equate, man. I hear you. And then when they say, "Yeah, you can play my stuff, but don't move anything," really? Do you have insurance?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I'm not playing.
Yeah, I'm
I
not.
say, okay, I won't, and immediately move it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly.
You.
Dude, man, I'm
look
glad to
great.
see you in the pink. I really am. When is the next gig?
December 9th, Stars is playing Dingbats in Bergen County. I'm going to
Excellent.
sit in on play 5 songs. The Return of Joe Doobie.
Oh, that's
All
awesome,
right.
bro. That's awesome.
And then a
December
week
9th.
later, I'm joining the other 2 guys from Looking Glass to play down to Count Basie at a benefit for the Red Bank Food Bank. And we're going to play as Looking Glass. And,
Awesome.
and a house band that's got horns and chicks and, other stuff too.
That's great, man.
I'm
I'm
looking
so
forward to
happy
both
for
of
you,
them.
bro. I really am. I know nothing feels better than getting back to it. And
I didn't know that this day would be able to come. I really didn't. I had no idea.
Well, we are so
but
glad.
and we're going to end it on the high note. But you're a drummer,
Yeah.
and somewhere in there's a piece of DNA that says, "I don't stop.
No.
I don't stop."
No.
So you may not have known when.
Well, you know as well as I do, playing a gig when the power goes out, who keeps going?
That's right.
That's
I've done it many
Who
times.
keeps the drunks happy until they figure out where the fuse box is?
Well, if you go into the old burlesque, boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, then you get the girls, and they want to get up on stage and do
yeah.
crazy stuff, and then all the drunks are like, "Ooh, this is my favorite band."
Yeah, we were playing one night, real quick. So we were playing one night out in Wisconsin at a racetrack after the last race. All the drivers would come in. They were already hammered completely, and we'd be playing, and the power goes out completely. The whole hall is dark, except for maybe the emergency light was glowing, and so just to keep the air moving, I kept playing. And this drunk guy comes up to the guitar player and says, "What did you stop for?" No reason. It's just completely black in here, and I just kept playing. I kept time just until I figured out where the power was.
Oh,
What
that's
did you
funny.
stop for? He didn't truly asking the question.
I'm sure. Believe me, I know that guy.
I think it's your cousin.
Yeah, well, he's a fan.
He's a fan.
Could be my cousin. My cousin fan. Anyway, Doobie, listen, I'm going to let you bounce. It's
Thank
about
you.
dinner time. So good to see you, bro.
Yes, and you're looking great.
We'll
Thanks,
shout out
thanks
about-
for asking me.
Oh, please. You're always welcome. But yeah, look, I love to double back, and especially, the friendship gets even better and stronger, and it's just what we do, bro. So I'm glad to have you, and I'm really happy for
Well,
everything that's coming up positive.
I appreciate the invite, and you know as well as I do, there's plenty of shit to shoot.
Yes, there is, and so we'll continue on another evening, and there's always Friday.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. There's always Friday. Well, I think I hear my mom calling. I gotta go.
Go ahead, man. I'll talk to you soon, Doobie. Thank you for being here, brother.
I'll see ya. Goodbye, Lou.
Bye.
Goodbye, Lou.
Right then.
Bye,
That's
All right.
that's one of the good guys, kids.
Oh yeah, he's
And he saw, in that time, because he came up probably a couple of years, maybe 2 years before we did, and what he saw happen in the music. I mean, that was that was the coolest time. And Doobie walks the walk and
Yes,
talks
he
the
does.
talk and plays the stuff. So anyway, on that happy note,
Remember, we're wilding on Wednesday.
wilding on
tomorrow.
Wednesday. And if you want to know what that means,
Come on in.
come on in. And if you know what it means, tell us. And if we don't see you, well, if I don't see you in the future, I'll see you in the pasture.
Good night, everybody.
Take care, kids. See you tomorrow. And cue theme song.